you back for the last installment of the series, Grace of Forgiveness. There's a question that I get asked frequently. If I forgive, will it diminish my effectiveness, my power in the situation? Forgiveness can never do that. Compassion can never do that. Kindness can never do that. Forgiveness, compassion, kindness, it's like snow. It never fails to add beauty to whatever it covers. There's a favorite Japanese writer, I read him a lot. And there's one particular book called Norwegian Wood. And the name of this writer is Murakami. And there's one particular conversation which is really imprinted in my heart. And I read it when I was in college. And the conversation goes like this. So there's one person who's asking the other person, what happens when people open their hearts? And the other person responds back saying, they get better. So opening your heart helps to heal you. And forgiveness is a beautiful practice for the heart. Now, if we consider, and all of us here, if we consider that the goal of our life, goal of our spiritual life is to live fully, to love well, or to find some sort of inner freedom, or to go back to our true nature, our Buddha nature, which is loving awareness in itself. That's who we truly are. Then forgiveness is a very, very essential piece of that component. It's been said that forgiveness is about giving up all hope of a better past. Whatever has been done, it's done. How are we going to live from this moment forward? I'm going to share another story. It's an extraordinary story. It's about this monk who's an exemplar of forgiveness. And the story is set during the genocide in Cambodia, which lasted for nearly 4 years between 1975 and 1979. And this monk, his name was Mahaghosananda. And much of his family got killed during the genocide. The texts were burnt. There was so much of destruction in the villages. And just one moment. Yeah, there was so much destruction in the villages. And many monks and many educated people, they got killed during the genocide. And what was his response? His response was to take refugees by hundreds and thousands who were in a very, very difficult condition in refugee camps on the border and say to them, you cannot go back to your villages now that the war is winding down, in the back of a truck, sitting in the back of a truck or in a bus. You have to reclaim your land with forgiveness and loving kindness. And for 15 years, he led peace walks. I mean, he's considered a Gandhi of Cambodia. He walked people from the border back to their villages, chanting this mantra. So there would be this huge queue, huge line of people following him, and Mahaghosananda would be right in front, chanting this mantra. Hatred never ceases by hatred, but by love alone is healed. And this is the ancient and eternal law. And people would line up the jungle paths, they would line up every side of the road, and they would bow to him and weep as he passed by, walking thousands and hundreds and thousands of refugees from the border back to their villages, step by step, chanting this mantra. And all of them chanting this mantra together. Hatred never ceases hatred, but by love alone it is healed. So remarkable, so extraordinary. Forgiveness is not about approving the bad behavior done by another person. It's not even artificially suppressing the feelings caused by another person's bad behavior. It's not about pretending that the injury, the hurt, the humiliation never took place. But it's just about opening the door to your heart again and preparing to abandon the hope once for all of a better past, of a past without suffering, of a past without injustice, of a past without pain. You know, there's this Chinese philosopher Lao Tzu, and he beautifully says that if you are depressed, you're living in the past. If you're anxious, you're living in the future. If you are at peace, you're living in the present moment. And we can all use this understanding of forgiveness, whether it is in family, in money, in legal matters, in an organization, or with our co workers. We can use this understanding to free ourselves from the entanglements and sufferings of the past. You know, when it comes to forgiveness, there are a few other things. I mean, we've gone over them over the last 3 Saturdays, but there are few other things which are really, really, really important. It's not about perfecting yourself. It's not about being a certain way. It's not about joining a gym or having a particular diet or, doing therapy. Forgiveness needs wisdom. Forgiveness needs understanding. And the most important first understanding of forgiveness is that we are not condoning what has happened. In fact, we are not even saying that I forgive and I forget. In fact, what we are saying is that I am going to take care, I'm going to take great care that this does not happen, that this suffering, that this betrayal does not happen. It does not continue anymore, either to me or to anyone else. So we stand up to prevent the harm from continuing. That is really important. We stand up to prevent the harm from continuing. But while we are doing this, at the same time, there's a certain willingness that says, okay, I don't condone what has happened. And I may never even speak to this person again, if that's possible. Sometimes in family situations, that's not possible. We'll come to that later. But I'm not willing to carry this bitterness in my own heart. That's what it is. And it is possible. In reality, it is possible to feel love and compassion for another person and at the same time set your limits, set your boundaries. It is possible to work wholeheartedly. Forgiveness, and I have shared this with you earlier, it's not a weakness. It actually takes tremendous courage. I mean, in Bhagavad Gita, it says that if you want to see a heroic person, look to those who return love for hatred. And if you want to see the brave people, look to those who forgive. There's a certain sense of dignity and inner strength that comes in our heart when we start forgiving. That grace, we come into a state of grace. That's what forgiveness is. And forgiveness can't be peppered over. We can't say, I forgive, and know that it's now over and done with, I've forgiven. It's a process. We have to forgive again and again and again and again. And then at some point, we come to that place where forgiveness is really possible. You know, it's a bit like this man, I was reading about this the other day, who wrote to the IRS that I have not been able to sleep well, knowing that I have not paid my taxes fully. So since I failed to fully disclose my earnings and my returns for last year, I have enclosed a check for $2,000. And if I'm still not able to sleep, I will send the rest. That's how it works. Step by step. It's a process. That's how the human heart works. Layer by layer. That's how the psyche in our body works. Perhaps the biggest work when we are to be able to grow and to be able to develop, to be able to unfold in this human incarnation is to get rid of our anger, our resentment, our bitterness, the judgments that we place on ourselves and on situations and people around us. I've already shared with you how anger, resentment, bitterness, maliciousness, vindictiveness, we stack them up in our cells, in our tissues. It starts from the surface of the skin, and then it goes into our muscles, and then it penetrates into our bones, and then the bone marrow. And once it's in the bone marrow, then it's in our cells, in our tissues, it's in our blood. We are swimming in that. Our aura, our chakras are swimming in anger, resentment, bitterness. And when we are crowded with all these negative, heavy feelings, our soul cannot experience expansion. How can the soul rise when it's being chained to these energies of anger, resentment, bitterness? These energies that are dragging the soul down constantly. So we look out into the world, the lens, the filter that we look out through, whether it's a situation, whether it's a condition, whether it's a circumstance, or whether it's another person. It's through the lens of bitterness, resentment, which is, we are swimming in that. We are not able to separate that. The energies have built up so much. And I've already shared with you physiologically how it impacts and manifests in so many illnesses. And it blocks the flow to our abundance, to our wealth, to our relationships, of course, to our health. It's like if we are like a light bulb, it's like we get covered by layers of mud. Most often, people make this mistake. They think like to shine bright, to be radiant, to be glowing in our lives, we need to stuff things inside. But when we are stuffing all those bright, shiny things inside, we are just adding fresh food to the stale food. The light bulb, which is the soul, we are spiritual beings of radiant light, that is covered in mud. It's only when we start releasing these layers one by one, step by step, peeling off these layers of anger, resentment, bitterness, these blockages that are clogging the light, that light bulb, that we will start uncovering the light that who we truly are. That's when that grace and radiance and glow is flowing from inside out. It's like 1,000 suns shining outside, from inside outside. We are radiating. That's who we truly are. But we have to remove the layers of the mud which are covering the light bulb. Who are the people we need to forgive? Okay, we'll come to that later. Another thing, forgiveness is so much about ourselves. So much about ourselves. There is so much judgment, shame, guilt that we carry inside us. Unworthiness, ideas of scarcity, low sense of self, which we, of course, try to cover up with our ego, with our pride, with our self-inflation, self-delusion, self-conceitedness. But it's really about ourselves, about forgiving ourselves for all these heavy energies that we carry. And of course, forgiving the other people or a situation or a circumstance or a condition that our physical body might be going through. it's forgiveness also helps us to see when we are willing to see, when we are willing to see, when we are ready to see the pain, the fears, the ignorance, the self protection, and so forth of the other person. There's a poet, Longfellow, he writes that if we were to see the secret history of our enemies, we would see sorrow and suffering of so much enormity that it would disarm all hostilities that we carry for that person. Forgiveness is extremely powerful. Do not underestimate the power of forgiveness. It penetrates deep into the core of the negative feelings that we hold, the resentment, the bitterness, the grudges, the hatred, the vindictiveness. And when it penetrates deep into the core of these negative feelings, it actually transmutes them. And then it frees up the space, because all these negative energies, all these thoughts, all these emotions that we are holding inside, which start from little things like she didn't smile at me, he didn't say thank you when closing the door, I did so much for that person, and that person didn't have the decency to even come back and tell me that the thing has been sorted out. It starts with little things. She looked through me. It starts with these little things, and then they build up and they build up and they build up, and they reach a point where we are swimming in these heavy energies. And really, forgiveness is like something that starts and ends with us. I mean, we can't get somebody else to clear all these energies which get cleared if we are not willing and committed, because we have to set the intention so that the compass of our heart gets set in that direction, that we are ready, we are committed, and then we start our journey. It really starts and ends with us and no one else. And we have the power to give ourselves this gift. We all have that power. We are beings of will and power. We are beings of unconditional love. We are beings of light. Every meditation, we do that affirmation of who am I? So we have that power. Who are the people who should be on our list of forgiveness? The really essential. There are actually 4 categories. Number 1, besides ourselves, is our parents. And why am I saying our parents? We love our parents dearly. Our parents love us. But there is so much of pain that each one of us carry from our growing up years. Because we human beings are very unskillful. We can be very unskillful at times. And I realized this when I was, that how unskillful we can be. I realized this that when I was studying theater with a very accomplished, acclaimed theater director in Vancouver, he was doing phenomenal work with the First Nations people in Canada, the Aboriginal people. And I was having my one-on-one conversation with him one evening. It was a Saturday evening, and we had had a very hectic month prior to that. And I told him that I'm so glad that you have a day off, because from Monday we were starting another work on a new production. And he said to me that it's been 25 years, I've not taken a single day off. And I was really stumped. I said, what do you mean you've not taken a single day off? He says, I'm very aware, and I know that I need to rest up to recharge and replenish, because I'm very aware it's taken a toll on my relationships, on my physical health. I do this amazing work, which everybody says that I do it. But when I was growing up, my mother used to say that you're so lazy, you'll never be able to do anything. So I find it so hard to even rest on Sundays or my day offs. I cannot take a single day off. I mean, this is just one example, and it made me realize the enormity, the magnitude of the energies that we soak in, our parents' energies, and we all human beings are very unskillful. The feelings of abandonment, of neglect, of sadness, of not being good enough, not being smart enough, because perhaps we failed a test in grade 3, and our parents, very well meaning, very well intentioned, just telling us that if you can't add 3 plus 1 is equal to 4, how are you going to do anything in life? I mean, these are normal things that every child hears growing up. That you mess this up, just stay away from it. You can't get anything right. I mean, just normal things, true or not. We don't realize that then they work at our subconscious level. Those are those unconscious programs that run, and the choices we make. And even when we are aware, the energies, we are still holding those energies. So if we do not extract those energies, they're running. We are running on autopilot, thinking that we are very autonomous beings. No, we are not. So number one on the list is our parents. Number two, the intimate people that we live with, and that means our husbands, our wives, our partners. Very important, because we love them, we respect them, we care for them if the relationship is great, and yet there is so much of pain and hurt and wounding that we carry from all the relationships that are very intimate: ex-husbands, ex-wives, ex-lovers, and the current partner, if you are with someone. Very important. All our bosses, ex-bosses, ex-co-workers, present co-workers, our in-laws, our ex-in-laws. Very important. And our siblings. Very, very important. So much of pain we carry. So much of love, so much of pain, so many deep wounds. And plus, of course, the other things that happen to us, the situations, the circumstances. So that's why it's like personal hygiene. It's an everyday practice. It's 365 days a year. 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes in the evening. That's how it works. And why am I saying it's so important? Karmically, we started talking about it in the last session. Karmically, I told you that love bonds two people, but resentment, hatred, bitterness, it chains two people. Anger, it chains two souls. Now, what happens is, in every physical incarnation, since we are here to grow, learn, and evolve the soul is given this opportunity, as we are maneuvering our earthly journey, to be able to resolve everything that is unfinished, which means to be able to evolve our hearts, to be able to evolve our minds, have the wisdom, the understanding, the discernment, the clarity, our hearts to be able to love unconditionally, to forgive, to let go, and will and power. We have the power to be able to break away and create and step into our highest potential, our spiritual destiny. So since we are perfecting, we are like diamonds, perfecting all the facets of who we truly are. We are given opportunities in every lifetime to learn, to grow, to evolve. How do we get the opportunities? If in the first lifetime, if this is person A is angry with person B, but it's a relationship that you disconnect, but you continue to hold. The person A walks on her path, the person B walks on his path or her path. But they're still, both of them are carrying resentment, bitterness in their hearts. They've not, and it's very deep. They don't resolve it. In the next lifetime, proximity of relationships to work out the unresolved anger, hatred, resentment, bitterness. My hands come closer together because proximity, friction, it'll create friction. So it'll become inevitable. We will not be able to escape like this now. How does it become inevitable? Through our parents, through our children, through our bosses, through our ex-wives, ex-husbands, through our business associates, through our ex-business associates, through a physical condition in our body. It's different for different people. Through financial losses. That's how. There are two choices we have. Either we learn from spiritual teachings that are available, or we learn from karma, which is like a big ouch. It's very painful we all know that when we allow karmically proximity for all those things to be resolved through the different relationships and the situations and the events and the circumstances in our lives. Now, in theosophy, it's also written, one of the books on theosophy, it's written that when the soul leaves the physical body and it's going towards the higher worlds, the higher beings, they shows the soul the images of the people for whom we are carrying hatred, resentment, bitterness in our heart. And even if there is little bit slight irritation, agitation, when you look at those images, we are sent back to the lower worlds, meaning that we are sent back for another physical incarnation, because we've not yet evolved, grown. We have to be closer to our heart, open our heart. We've not done that yet, so we are back. I had the good fortune and the blessing of traveling to Bhutan very often on work, and several times in a year for a period of 7 to 8 years. And I had this opportunity to really trek up to very remote monasteries and have conversations with many, many monks. Now, Bhutan is a very sacred place. Lots of yogis, shamans, mystics, and saints from different traditions and from different parts of the world go to those monasteries, speak to those monks. Every monk that I spoke to, and I asked them, what is the single most important spiritual teaching that you can share with me? Almost all of them said the same thing, and I can sum it up in one sentence: let matters pass. Let matters pass. This memory is very, very interesting. Annie Besant says, we all want a perfect memory, a sharp memory. Annie Besant says that the ability to forget is a blessing. It's a blessing. Can you imagine if we were to remember every thought, every feeling, every detail, every incident of whatever happens to us for our entire life? Of course, the intense feelings of love, happiness, joy will be clear in our consciousness, but so would be all the traumatic experiences in our life, all our worst nightmares. So Annie Besant says the ability to forget is a blessing. Extract the lesson and move on, move forward. It is said that our soul is like a hot air balloon. My teacher's teacher shared it with him, and that's how I got this teaching. And for the soul to rise, we need to do two things. We need to cut off all the energies that are pulling you down, the entanglements of the earth, which are the needs, the desires, the comforts of the physical body. And the second thing is we need to get rid of the energies that are pulling us down, holding us down, which is our anger, resentment, bitterness, maliciousness, our pride, our self-conceitedness, self-inflation, self-delusion, our ill will, ruthlessness, our cruelty, our injury. Otherwise, every time we do our meditation, we feel really peaceful, we feel intense love, we feel I'm like expanding and expanding. And there will come a point when you will say, I'm hitting a ceiling. Why is it that I can't go any further? I experience this expansion, but when crisis happens in my everyday life, when I get to work, why is it that I cannot hold on to these feelings of expansion? Why is it that my internal state gets all riled up? I'm not calm, and I'm not centered and grounded to step back and say, okay, this is what is happening. It's happening outside of the I. What is the right thing to do? And let me just focus on doing that. That's because we have certain defects, certain tendencies, which we still haven't released and which we are holding in our energy field, in our aura, in our chakras, in the cells of our body. So just to end, forgiveness is not about looking back, it's about looking ahead. And this is something that really helped me on my journey on forgiveness. And I'm going to give you this tip. There's a reason why the windscreen, the windshield of a car is a little bigger than the rear view mirror. Of course, we need both. And in our journey on forgiveness, also, we need both. But next time you're not able to let matters pass and small matters pass, and you sit in your car, ask yourself, am I using my windshield or am I using my rear view mirror? And that'll really, really help. So I think I've done my job. Uh, I've tried my best to
Very
share
well,
all the teachings,
very well said.
and I wish you all well as you start. I know that everyone has started, and the fact that you are all here, that we are together, means that we've all started that in our own way. And I hope that you continue on this path of forgiveness and experience the abundance and the flow in every aspect of your life and on all levels. That's my sincere wish and aspiration for everyone here. So let's meditate now. So sit comfortably. So today, since this is the last meditation of 2022, it's kind of a Thanksgiving meditation for all the blessings that we have in our life. And of course, COVID happened, and the last 2 or 3 years have been extremely challenging for all of us on different levels. In the future, something else might happen, but there's still so much that we have to be grateful for. So just remember that as we do this meditation. So you may close your eyes and sit comfortably. And I want you to take your right hand and just gently tap on your crown center. And then bring your hands in a prayerful position on your heart center. And let's affirm oneness and energetically connect with one another so that more blessings flow through us, and then we'll share it with the world, with our loved ones, and with everyone around us. Inhale, exhale slowly. And be very gently aware of your crown center, the top of your head. And silently listen to my voice and silently repeat in your mind, I am that I am. I'm not my body. I'm not any of my thoughts. I'm not any of my emotions. I'm not even my mind. My mind is a subtle instrument of the soul. I am the soul, the spiritual self. I am a spiritual being of divine intelligence. I am a spiritual being of divine love. I am a spiritual being of divine will and power. I am that I am. I'm one and connected with my higher soul, my higher self, my divine self. I'm one and connected with the divine spark within me, the Paramatma within me. I'm one with God, I'm one with all. There is only oneness. A spiritual guru once said that a soul has three things to be grateful for. And the first thing that the soul is grateful for is this incredible opportunity to incarnate, to take on this physical form, to wear this human suit, to take on this physical shell, to be able to come on earth, to be able to learn, grow, and evolve, and get closer to God. The second thing that a soul is grateful for is the spiritual teachers who bring us more light, more wisdom, who empower us to help us serve and share the light with others. And the third thing that a soul is grateful for is this deep, intense need to reach for the light. So let's be grateful for this wonderful opportunity to have this physical incarnation, to be able to take on this physical form as we navigate this earthly journey to learn our lessons, to learn, to grow, to evolve our hearts, to evolve ourselves into more elevated beings. And of course, in our earthly journey, as the soul is growing, learning, and evolving, we experience a lot of difficult and challenging situations and moments. But in the big picture, know that the soul is always growing and evolving, and all these situations, conditions, difficulties, challenges are an opportunity for the soul to evolve, to unfold. So we thank you. Feel the gratitude. We thank you. We thank you for this opportunity of having this physical incarnation. Thank you. Now, if you have a spiritual teacher, when I say a spiritual teacher, it could be someone who shared a life-changing quote with you, or it could be a loved one or a family member who was there for you during a difficult time that you were experiencing. Or it could be someone who gave you unconditional love when you thought you didn't deserve it. So let's be grateful for our spiritual teachers. Send them gratitude, send them love. We thank you. We thank you. Thank you. Let's be grateful to our parents. You might or might not have a good relationship with them. But let's be grateful to our parents. They might or might not be in their bodies. Let's be grateful to our parents because for allowing us, they are the physical instruments for allowing us to incarnate. Thank you, Ma. Thank you, Pa. Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Dad. Thank you. We send you so much love. We send you so much gratitude. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let's be grateful to our loved ones, to our friends who've always been there for us. Look back to the past year. Look back to those times when you were experiencing challenges with your physical health, with your emotional health, with your relationships, with your mental health, with your finances. There were these people who were always there for you, supporting you, just there for you unconditionally, helping you through those difficult moments, those challenging situations in your life. Let's just send them so much love, so much gratitude, a heartfelt thank you to all of them for being there for us. Thank you. We thank you. Let's give gratitude to our physical bodies. In whatever condition your physical body may be, the fact that we are able to breathe is something to be grateful for. So let's be grateful to our physical bodies. for our health, for carrying so much, for holding so much as we go about our days and our nights. And as you give gratitude to your physical body, I want you to visualize yourself bowing to your physical body. Thank you. Thank you for carrying so much, for holding so much. Thank you. Thank you. And now bring your attention to your heart, to your physical heart, the great drummer that's beating 24/7, that never takes a break. The physical heart and the human heart, which holds all these feelings, all these emotions, the longings, the fears, the pain, the excitement, the sweetness, the sadness, the tenderness, the deep love, the affection, the appreciation, the joyfulness, the judgment, the impatience, the kindness. Thank you, my dear heart. Thank you for carrying so much and for never taking a break, for always beating. Thank you, dear heart. Thank you. And just visualize yourself holding your heart with so much tenderness as you express your gratitude to your dear heart for carrying so much, for always caring for me, for helping me, for protecting me. Thank you, my dear heart. Thank you. And now, let's be grateful for our careers, for our finances, in whatever condition they might be. People all over the world are experiencing so much, so many challenges with their finances. Let's be grateful for whatever we have. Thank you. Thank you. We are so grateful. Arigato. In Japanese, they say arigato your money. Thank you, money. Thank you. Thank you for this ability to pay my bills and to do so much more. Thank you. Thank you. And now I want you to visualize all the people who've been kind to you, who've helped you, and also the people who don't like you. And just say thank you to them, because both the people who love us and people who don't really like us, they both have contributed to evolving us to who we are today, to where we are today. So just express your gratitude for all of them. May all of them be divinely blessed. We thank you. We thank you. Very gently lower your hands on your lap, palms facing the heavens. And I want you to visualize a brilliant, glistening, super bright golden light in your heart center, which is holding all these feelings of love, all these feelings of gratitude, all these feelings of warmness. This brilliant golden light in your heart center is now rising up, up to your throat, to the center of your head, to your crown. It's going past the crown, and way above your head is a brilliant, brilliant, brilliant light. Thank you to our Creator, the source of all. Let this beautiful golden light from your heart rise up from your heart, up, up to the center of your head, your crown, go past the crown, and let it merge with that brilliant, brilliant golden light way above your head. I'm one with God. I'm one with all. There is only oneness. We are one with God. We are one with all. There is only oneness. And now this brilliant, brilliant golden light is descending down, down, with all that intense love, with all that gratitude inside it. It's entering your crown center and down, down to your throat, down, down into your heart center. And just feel it expanding and expanding. And it's from your heart center, that brilliant golden light with so much love, with so much gratitude. It's expanding, expanding into every part of your body, every organ, every cell, every tissue is radiating with this brilliant golden light with so much love, deep, intense love, and heartfelt gratitude, warmness, tenderness. It's like your entire being, every fiber of your being is swimming in this beautiful golden light. Some of you might see this rainbow light. As we continue to express our gratitude, send out love, gratitude, radiating this love and gratitude from every pore of your skin, filling up your home, every nook and corner of your home with this brilliant golden light, filled with intense, deep love and deep, deep gratitude. Filling up every person you love, every person who's been kind to you, who's been there for you, just filling them up with this beautiful golden light, sending them so much love, so much gratitude, so much appreciation. And to our neighborhood, this brilliant golden light, our neighbors, our neighborhood, our town, our city, and let it spread to every corner of the earth. Just sending love and gratitude to every person, every being on the earth. To all our spiritual teachers, we are so grateful for inspiring us, for pushing us forward, for helping us during our difficult moments, through the teachings, through the wisdom, for always guiding us, all our angelic helpers, all our teachers, inner teachers, mentors, guides. Thank you. We are so grateful. And silently say, I am light. I am love. I am bliss. I am bountiful. I am thankful. And just inhale, deep, slow inhale. And as you exhale, just feel this brilliant golden light spreading even more intensely, covering every part of the earth, every being, every sentient being. Take another deep, slow breath in. And as you exhale, let it spread. Let it cover every person, every being, every direction, above, below, right, left, every corner. We are so grateful for all the blessings. And silently say, I, the soul, am super receptive. I am super grateful, super conductive to all the blessings on all levels. Yes, yes, yes. I am so grateful as I receive so many blessings on all levels. Every moment is a blessing. So much to be grateful for: the good, the not so good, the fantastic, the fabulous, and the things that need to improve. It's all in the divine plan, and I am so grateful. Just bring your hands on your heart center to the divine supreme being. We are so grateful to all the higher beings, all the spiritual teachers of all traditions. We are so grateful to all the spiritual elders seated beside the throne of God. We are so grateful. All our guides, our spirits, our mentors, our inner teachers, the angelic helpers. We are so grateful for so many blessings. Our higher soul, we are so grateful for your love, for your cooperation, for your guidance. We are super, super grateful. Please bless us always. Bless us with the eyes that we are able to see the best in people, with a heart that forgives the worst, with a mind that forgets the bad, and with a soul that never, never loses faith in God. Thank you. Thank you. And I would like to thank all of you for being my co travelers on this beautiful journey together. Thank you. Thank you to each one of you. May you and your loved ones be divinely blessed by God always. May all your heart's desires come true. Thank you. Atma Namaste.